Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would be in support of looking at travel expenses.
So this board gets to decide what I do in my job?
What we're looking at is travel out of the county, so it wouldn't affect your job.
I had finance pull up for fiscal year 23 just for this board. We went all the way from spending $2,000 for a supervisor all the way up to $15,000 on travel. And I don't know how much of that was actually necessary, because we do have the ability to attend a lot of these meetings on Zoom. A couple days ago, there were 11 staff members that went up to the Arizona Strip to attend a meeting, which it's commendable because the people up there don't feel like they get representation. So to take our entire staff up there, let me see, we had the top 3 members of the sheriff's office up there, the assessor, the recorder, the treasurer, development services director, public works director, the public health director. We had a secretary, and we had the pilot all up there for a meeting that possibly could have been done on Zoom with maybe you just up there leading it. But, you know, I think we have some CSA conferences coming up. We have NACO meetings. A lot of these things, it's nice to go, but is it really necessary, especially when we're looking at such a budget deficit? So,
been good faith players over the years and are running as lean as we can, as explained last time.
I would support limiting the travel and looking at seriously and making sure that it's mandated travel or necessary travel before we spend county funds on that.
Well, if I need to go out of the county to meet with another supervisor and need to go to Phoenix and meet with the governor, I can't do that.
And as far as the freezing of general fund employees, I think if that's done on an individual department needs, because there's some departments that are large and could absorb some of these vacancies. There's other departments that absolutely could not. So I think we need to look at these on an individual basis, but I support Supervisor Johnson's recommendation and understand the need for it.
Supervisor Angius.
Yeah, I just have a question for Supervisor Bishop. So sure. You say, who decides what's needed and what's not needed? Is your say more important than his say? I mean, who makes that decision? What's important and what's not important? I think showing up and especially now with everything that's going on with the federal government and showing your face that we're not backing down, I think that's important. Supervisor Johnson might not think that's important. So who makes that decision?
I think the voters make that decision. I think the voters make that decision. I think the voters make that decision.
Question. So you're saying this is a political issue for you?
I think the voters will see who's trying to cut back and save money, and they'll
not the question.
They'll elect us or they'll not.
So again, we're making this decision, and what about for us? Who's going to make the decision for us?
I think we should make the decision ourselves. If we vote to limit travel, I think any responsible elected person would do just that.
I just wanted to clarify that.
I appreciate Supervisor Johnson putting this on the agenda.
Chairman
Supervisor Angus.
Yes, thank you. So just to recap, we went from having a solution that would have 100% funded law enforcement in this county, the thing we say is the most important part of government, to now talking about unfunding the police.
Reducing that budget, I understand we're in a tight spot financially. You have a year, a little less than a year now to figure that out, and I don't envy your task, but you're making my responsibility almost impossible. I have 14 openings for street deputies.
If we don't want it to apply to law enforcement or the mandatory positions of the courts, we can make those exceptions.
That's just a fact. That is not browbeating.
Since we cannot communicate with each other except at a board meeting, you really have no other way to have the discussion.
That is a fact, and I want everyone to understand that.
I don't think it's an all or nothing thing. I think there's room for some negotiation, and that's kind of what we've been discussing, is the various things that we could eliminate from a total hiring ban and a total travel ban. Thank you.
Supervisor Bishop.
I'd just like to add that Supervisor Johnson, Gold, I think we all have good points here, but I think we can't wait until fiscal year 2024 to start this. I think we need to start cutting back now. And that's why I suggested that maybe we stop some of the travel, do more on Zoom, consider when we're doing the traveling, is it really necessary?
Excuse me.
Supervisor Angus.
Thank you. So I think doing my job is going out to some meeting. I think that's important in my job.
Well, we have to start somewhere with
I
government. We
understand
have
that.
no money.
I understand that, but we can have unintended consequences that are going to come back to haunt us for years. So I think we just need to do this soberly and not sort of just throw it out there.
For me, the knee-jerk reaction was passing a budget that put us $18.5 million in debt and adding to it. This is just trying to rein in the spending.
And we should take a look at those. I'm still willing to move forward with a hiring ban, but I think we need to narrow it down so that it works.
Can we not take a handful of people to a meeting where one person could go and maybe bring back the issues to the board? So that's what I'm saying, is let's not wait until next year to do this. Let's start doing it right now and make cuts where we can.
I bring something forward, whether it's obviously not unanimous with the board to say, oh, but travel and everything else. Nobody's saying, oh, well, all I want to do is protect my department. They want, oh, let's go through each and individual department here. That is not our job to do that. Staff is supposed to be bringing us saying, hey, we just come up with an idea to save $1,000 here, $10,000 there. This is being put on 5 people who were elected to oversee the county, not run the finance department and all these other departments we have.
So this board gets to decide what I do in my job?
What we're looking at is travel out of the county, so it wouldn't affect your job. If we're not going to come up with some ideas and say, hey, this is what you're going to have to do, then the staff should be coming up with ideas to say, here's how we're going to balance this budget for you, and that without raising taxes. That's all. Thank you.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes appear to have it, do have it, so ordered.
And now we're here, and we have to make these very difficult, but over my dead body, am I going to unfund our law enforcement?
Cinderella doesn't have the money to go to the ball anymore. Mohave County has no money at all.